Everybody, what's up? It is RJ with Freedom Prints, and Freedom Prints has entered a whole new phase of printing, 3D printing. I've actually got a job in there right now that I paused so you could actually hear me. It's not real loud, but during the video you might hear it, and I didn't want you to have that background noise. So I just wanted a 3D printer to have a 3D printer, but being a business guy, I always have to try to figure out, okay, how can I make money off this? Well, one of the ways I decided to make money off of this is make accessories. So I'm getting a UV printer as well, so I'll be able to print baseballs, softballs, golf balls, and I wanted a way to display that stuff. And there's a lot of other accessories I can make, but that's how I'm going to use the 3D printer with my business, Freedom Prints. But what I wanted to do today was really go over 3D printing for dummies or beginners, whatever. I'm talking about me because I went into this totally blind. I knew absolutely nothing about 3D printing. I did do some research before I purchased one. And based on the research I did, this is the Bambu P1S. It's a good beginning printer, but it's also big enough and has a lot of little other things to it to where I could go into the intermediate phase if I wanted to. So I didn't want to buy just a basic 3D printer to where in a few months I'd be like, I need something more. So I kind of went up a step besides the very basic beginner printer. And the setup on this was very easy. And again, I can't stress, when I say I knew nothing about 3D printing, I knew nothing. I went in blind except for the research about which one to purchase. Now, to get started, the printer was $700. That includes the AMS system. The only thing the AMS system is that it lets you use different color filaments. Now, let's take a side break on filaments right now because I learned a lot about filaments. There are all types of filament. This stuff, I just thought it was plastic string. They call it filament. So I went on a buying spree of filament, purchasing all the colors of local schools. So like this one right here is for South Johnson. Gold bats, dark green home plate with white. It'd be a great accessory if somebody wanted something printed on a baseball from South Johnson. So I went out and I got Princeton, North Johnson, West Johnson, Rosewood. Got all of them coming in to where if somebody wants something in school colors, I have it. Okay, well, I did ACOC as well, which is where I used to teach, and I bought this. Well, I actually started printing something with this, and it kept messing up. It wouldn't stick to the plate. I got blobs on the nozzle, and so I was on ChatGPT trying to figure out what's going on. Lo and behold, I was using the wrong filament. Most of the jobs you're going to do as a beginner is filament PLA. PLA Plus, PLA Basic, all PLA. And then you can use them all on the same job. But you cannot intermix ABS. ABS has a higher melt rate than PLA. So if you put them two together, the nozzle has to be at different temperatures and it's just not going to work. So I've got two spools of ABS that I will probably just use for practice stuff. Now, since we're on the filament, understand filament is not horribly expensive. It's about $20 a spool. Now you can get smaller spools if you want, like colors that you won't use that often. But the only thing I've bought so far, I've got about 20 different spools, and I paid anywhere from 15 to 25. But $20 is about the average for a spool of filament. Just be sure, if you're beginning, you want PLA for just about every job. All these here are PLA. What's in here is PLA as well. So if you're going to Amazon, which is where I buy most of it, look for PLA. Don't just look for colors and start hitting buy, because that's what I did, and I didn't know what I was doing. So you want to be careful with that. So how easy to start with 3D printing? It really depends on the printer. This was very basic. As I said, it was very easy to set up. Now, when I say that, I want to let you know, I went to a YouTube channel, looked at one of the setup videos, and then I went back and watched it as I was setting it up. Now, they will tell you within 30 minutes you can be up and printing. And if you've already set one up, that's probably true. It took me about an hour to set it up, but I was very careful and meticulous because I didn't want to break anything. There's small parts in here, so I was very careful about everything I did. Now, if I went back and set up another one of these, they're right. I could probably do it in 30 minutes. Okay. Once I got everything set up, I put everything in the AMS system. And guys, this is really, really easy. The spools fit in there and you feed the filament in and it catches it, and it's really, really easy. What makes this so easy is also the software that comes with it. Bambu has a great software, and it really helps you work this printer. Another great thing I love about this, there are no wires from this printer to my computer. It's all through Wi-Fi, and it hooked up very, very quickly. Now, this one comes with a little screen here, and I hardly ever use it. I've been doing this now a week and a half, and I use this very rarely. Everything I do is from my computer, and then it just communicates very well with the printer. The first thing I printed was this, a little phone holder. Set your phone on top of it. To be honest with you, I'll never use it. But I just wanted to see, hey, I printed something, and I was like, oh, cool, it's printing. I made that, yay. But I wanted to get complicated much more quickly. So I got that out of the way. And then I want to explain something, because some people think 3D printing is very hard, and they're like, you got to program this, you got to know how to do this and that. Guys, it's really not difficult at all. All this stuff you see here was pre-programmed. All I had to do was go to a website and say, hey, I like this, and then download it, and all the specs and everything are already done. All I have to do is communicate it to that printer and hit print. Now, I did have to say what colors, and that can get a little tricky, but the software is not hard to use. And if you chat GPT it or use a YouTube video, you'll see how easy it is to do this. Now, saying all that, I need to tell you this. This thing in here right now is the hardest print I've done. It is a Nike Air Jordan shoe that should come out red, black, and white. And right now, it's printing all red. And I don't know why, because I set it up red, black, and white. But I'm going to let it finish printing, and then I'll go back and print another one. But I'm learning. So I did something wrong there, and I will keep you posted on other videos of what happened with this. Now, you can't, like I said, you can manipulate the colors, but you need to understand, the more colors you use, the longer it's going to take. Now, and let me backtrack on that. Not always. It depends on how it layers itself, and I'm getting ready to explain that. So as soon as I finished printing the phone case, I wanted to print something with two colors. So, of course, what did I go to? South Johnson Trojans, yeah. And what I did is I told the computer I wanted this color. So what it did, it actually printed all the gold first, then it went in and did all the green. So it only had to switch colors one time. So this didn't take long. But again, let me sidetrack real quick. None of this is fast. This was about an hour print. An hour for that. I guess it's a little keychain ornament. I don't know. I just saw it and said, ooh, I want to print that. So that took about an hour to do. All right. So then let's move on to this. The way it prints, it layers everything. So this is the bottom layer, second layer, third layer. Again, it only had to it changed nozzles 3 times. Now this only has one nozzle in it, so when it changes colors, it has to go through a self-cleaning. So it has to get the one filament it was using, the white, out of its system, and then load the green, make sure that gets the temperature, and then starts printing again. This one was about a 2.5, 3 hour print. I can't remember exactly, but I know it was at least 2.5 to 3 hours. So it's a very slow process. And some people are like, oh, that's fast. That's slow to me. Okay. This one, I wanted to see if I could add text to it. This is actually a nurse lab coat. I made it for my wife for Easter, and I wanted to add RN right there in white. Adding that little RN added an extra hour to the print of this, because when it layers, it has to keep changing from white to pink to white to pink to white to pink, just for that little bit right there. Took a very long time. Okay. This is a golf ball holder. This one took 7 hours. And you're like, you've got to be kidding me. That little thing took 7 hours? Yes. And let me tell you why. If I just would have had this all black, it probably would have took about an hour and a half. But what I wanted to do, because I'm learning, I wanted to test stuff out. I wanted to see if I could take a Trojan head and put it on this golf ball base or this golf ball holder. And the software, I had to learn how to do it. It was not as simple as the RN. This was a little bit more difficult, but again, I honestly chat GPT'd it and it walked me through it fairly easily. And so again, I'm starting off, but once I kind of went through chat GPT and it walked me through the process, it wasn't that difficult. But when it said 7 hours, it's because it doesn't print on top of this like you would think. It actually prints it while it's printing the black. So it had to switch nozzles like 100 times. And I'm guessing, but it would go black, black, black. Then it would have to switch to gold. It would do gold a little bit, then switch back to black. So it took 7 hours to print this. And this is the only one I'm going to print of this. So this one's mine. And I don't even play golf. What I will do, though, is when I get the UV printer, and that thing, it's been like 6 weeks since I've ordered it. It's been on back order. I can't wait to get it, though. But what I will do is I will print the Trojan or whatever on the base, and it will probably even look better than this anyway when it's UV printed. So I'm going to keep this because it's, it was a difficult print, at least for me, and it turned out pretty good. Okay, so I think I have covered the basics of 3D printing that I have learned over the past week and a half. This is a very nice printer. There's a lot of nice printers out there. But if you're starting off and want an intermediate beginning printer, the Bambu P1S really is good. Really easy setup. The software is not difficult to use, and it does some pretty cool things. And this Air Jordan that I'm printing, even if it comes out all one color, is going to be really cool, and I'll share it with you in another video. But I will go back and figure out what I did wrong and let you guys know so you guys don't have to make the same mistake. Guys, Freedom Prints is growing. We're learning more stuff. We're finding other revenue streams, and I can't do it without all of you. So I hope you enjoyed the video. 3D printing for beginners. You guys have a great day, and remember to always dream big, pray hard, never quit.